The corrupted world in Noah's days, the earth was filled with corruption and evil. The cities were full of injustice, and the people lived in disobedience to God, given over to greed, idolatry, and violence. Entire tribes were at war over territories, while the weaker ones were exploited and enslaved. Fathers and children were in disunion, and lies were the foundation of many relationships. Greed dominated people's hearts, and justice had completely vanished from society. The scriptures say that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. Genesis 6:5. God, seeing the degradation of humanity, was deeply saddened. He saw how man had turned away from his path and decided to bring a just judgment upon the earth, destroying everything in it. However, God is also merciful and just. Before executing his plan, he decided to give humanity a chance. He sent prophets to warn the people, but their hardened hearts rejected his words. They mocked the messengers and continued to live selfish and wicked lives. Each day, evil seemed to grow even more, and few were willing to listen or change their ways. God's sorrow was not only due to the sin, but also because of the rejection of the love he offered. Noah's choice, in the midst of the moral darkness of the time, one man stood out: Noah. He was described as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Genesis 6:9. Noah was not perfect, but his faith and dedication to the Lord made him different from the others. While his neighbors gave in to sin, Noah remained faithful to God, prayed regularly, and taught his children to follow God's commandments. He was known for his honesty and for helping those in need, always with words of hope and kindness. One night God spoke to Noah in a dream, revealing the plan to bring a great flood to purify the earth. God said, "The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence. I will bring a flood upon the earth to destroy all life under the heavens. But with you, I will establish my covenant. You will build an ark, where you, your family, and the animals I choose will find refuge." Noah woke up impressed by the clarity of the divine instructions. He knew the task would be monumental, but he accepted it with humility and reverence. He gathered his family and shared the mission that God had entrusted him with. They all committed to help, even though they didn't fully understand the magnitude of what was to come. For Noah, faith in God was enough to guide him. The construction of the ark, God gave detailed instructions for building the ark. It was to be made of cypress wood, sealed with pitch inside and out to ensure it was waterproof. The ark was to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high, with 3 internal levels and various compartments to store provisions and house the animals. God also instructed on how the entrances for light and ventilation should be made, ensuring that everyone would survive comfortably. Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, worked tirelessly. The work was hard and required discipline. They cut down trees, shaped the wood, nailed the structures, and applied the pitch. As they worked, Noah explained to his sons the meaning of their faith and how God had always been faithful throughout the generations. He also taught them to trust in God even when circumstances seemed impossible. During the years of construction, Noah faced constant mockery from his neighbors. Many laughed and said, "You've lost your mind, Noah. Why are you building such a big boat? Where's this rain you're talking about?" Others called him a fanatic, but Noah remained unshaken. He also took the opportunity to preach, warning about the coming judgment and inviting people to repent. Unfortunately, most rejected his words. Despite this, there were some curious ones who approached to listen. Some even asked how they could be saved, but they gave up when they realized it would require renouncing sin and dedicating themselves to God. For Noah, each lost soul was a cause for sadness, but he trusted that God had a perfect plan. The final preparation. After many years, the ark was finally completed. It was a massive structure, impressive even to those who criticized it. God instructed Noah to gather provisions: grains, dried fruits, oil, water, and hay for the animals. Each compartment was carefully filled to ensure everything would be in order during the flood. They also set aside seeds for future planting, knowing that life on earth would need to start anew. God also commanded Noah to bring 2 of every animal species, male and female, and 7 pairs of the clean animals. The animals came on their own, guided by God, and Noah and his family helped them enter the ark. It was an event that amazed many, but still few believed. The roars of the lions, the sounds of the birds, and the footsteps of the elephants showed that something supernatural was happening. The flood begins. When everything was ready, God said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights." Genesis 7:1-4. Noah and his family entered the ark, and God closed the door behind them. On the 8th day, dark clouds covered the sky, and the windows of heaven were opened. The torrential rain poured down, and the springs of the great deep were broken. The rivers overflowed, and the waters began to rise quickly. The people, desperate, tried to find shelter on high ground, but nothing could stop them. While the world was submerged, there was calm inside the ark. Noah and his family trusted in God and cared for the animals. They established a routine, feeding the animals, cleaning the compartments, and spending time in prayer. The sound of the rain and the rocking of the ark were constant reminders of God's faithfulness in protecting them. The days turned into weeks, and the family also faced emotional challenges. Being isolated from the world while hearing the sounds of destruction outside made them reflect on the seriousness of sin and the love of God in giving them a second chance. The restoration and the covenant. After 40 days and 40 nights of rain, the waters covered the earth for another 150 days. During this time, Noah and his family reflected on the greatness of God and the opportunity to begin again. They shared stories and prayed together, strengthening their faith. Finally, God remembered Noah and sent a wind to lower the waters. Slowly they receded, and the ark came to rest on Mount Ararat. Noah first sent out a raven, then a dove, to check if the waters had decreased. When the dove returned with an olive leaf, Noah knew the earth was renewing. Finally, God commanded Noah to leave the ark with his family and the animals. Upon stepping onto dry land, Noah built an altar and offered sacrifices of gratitude to God. The Lord, pleased, promised never again to destroy the earth with a flood, saying, "I will set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth." Genesis 9:13. The rainbow became a symbol of God's faithfulness and the hope of a new beginning. Noah and his family settled on the land, and humanity had the opportunity to start over under God's covenant. It was a reminder that, even in times of judgment, God's grace and mercy were always present for those who trusted in and obeyed the Lord. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to activate the bell. Every day, another chapter of the excellent creation of our glorious Lord. See you next time.